Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I am super excited for today's video. I'm actually going to do another dupe video and I haven't done one of these in a while. I picked up the ABH Riviera palette, I think at a TJ Maxx. Was there a sticker on it? I don't have a sticker on it to tell you, but I think I picked it up at like a TJ Maxx or Burlington or one of those places. And it was, I don't know, maybe 25 bucks. I think they're originally closer to 50, 48 maybe, if I recall. But I picked it up because I actually have a dupe for this. This has not been used. It does come with a double-ended brush. I might actually use that. And the colors are very tropical, in my opinion. You have a nice mix of mattes and shimmers. It seems like there's maybe one more matte than there is shimmer, which doesn't hurt my feelings. But I also have the CColor Cosmetics Cabana palette, and this came out relatively, well, I'm going to say relatively. This came out within the last year or so. And let me get the stickers off of it here. And when you look at these, they are darn near identical. Identical in placement. Helps if I actually turn it like, wait, how do I get this to actually, so you guys can see? Okay, identical in placement of shades. Very, very similar color story. So I thought we would do what we've been doing with our dupe videos, is do one on one side with the same brushes. We color switch them and clean them off in between and then do the other one. And I'm gonna do what I normally do, which is I'll put the high-end ABH palette, Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, on my wedding ring side. I'm not wearing another ring. I need to figure out where my ring went to. I think it took it off because it was spinning when I was typing one day. It's probably still sitting on my computer desk. And I'm gonna use the CColor Cosmetics on my my dominant hand, but my non-wedding ring hand. So let's, let me scoot you in. Let's just see if we can't get the same look on both sides and decide, is it an actual dupe and is it worth it to save the money? So give me just a second. You know what? I think I'm gonna use the Beauty Bay Eye Base because this just has not failed me, and because it's a little bit more of a opaque, not horribly so, but a little bit more of an opaque coverage. I think that'll give me a good base for some of these brighter colors. I haven't decided what kind of eye look I'm going to do or attempt to do with this. Did you guys pick up did you guys pick up either of these palettes, either the CColor Cosmetics one because you like saving some money, or the original ABH one? Did you get it like I did from a discount place well after it had been released? I know these aren't new palettes. Neither one of them are particularly new. But you guys like the dupe videos sometimes, so sometimes it's kind of fun to compare and contrast and just see. Is the CColor Cosmetics inspired by? Are they good quality? Do they work for me? And I've had pretty good luck, I think, with them. Now, this is a particular ABH palette that I've never used before, so it's going to be a first impression of this, and it's going to be a first impression of the CColor Cosmetics one, because I haven't used that one either. I have to get my little brush cleaner out here so that it's ready to go. I'm going to start with kind of a big fluffy brush, and we're going to go into this sort of nude shade over here on the ABH side. It's called Estate. So I'm going to use that all over my lid just to kind of get it. Oh, there's a ton of kick up in it, but I think it's this brush with being a synthetic brush, stirring up quite a bit. So that sort of nude flesh colored shade on me called Estate just about blends into my eyelid completely. Okay, cleaning off the brush, we're going to go into what's called Takeoff on the CColor Cosmetics side. Tons of kick up. And to me, that looks like it's going to be a little bit more pink, but let's see what this looks like actually on the eye. Oh yeah, I almost feel like it's got a little bit more pigment, slightly more apricot, a little bit more of a pink base, I guess, than the ABH side. So we're gonna have to clean off the brush and go again into the ABH one and see if we can't build this up just a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep this brush handy to do blending later on. I kind of want to use a couple of these bright colors because I think that's what you're drawn to. When you look at this, you see, you know, you immediately see this sort of fluorescent hot pink. You see this turquoise color. You see the purple, you see the yellow. I love this blue though. That's really pretty too. I think what I'm gonna have to do is, let's actually use this hot pink called Bahamas. Oh, look at this. Can you see? There's a lot on that. So I'm going to keep this in the center of my lid and just kind of wiggling it up into my crease. Oh, there's so, and you guys probably can't see, but there's so much kick up in this now. It's like It's like barely touching it with a brush, and it almost looks like a loose pigment at this point. So I put that mostly in just the center of my lid and brought it up above where my crease is. So we're gonna go into the corresponding shade on the CColor cosmetic side called Celebration, which is this one right here. I did clean off the brush. Similar amount of kick up, it looks like, but significantly less in the pan than the ABH side. So if you are comparing formula, is that something that's important to you? I would not apply this shade over a white skirt. So here's the differences I'm noticing. I feel like the CColor cosmetic side initially went on a little bit more sheer, and the shade is slightly more pink with less of a purple undertone than on the ABH side. I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of that kick up here. The CColor cosmetic side did build up well though. So there's just ever a slight difference in tones that I can see to the naked eye. I have to remember to clean off the brush in between applications here. Okay, got a little bit of a different brush. I'm going back into the ABH side. I'm gonna grab this dark brown over here, and I'm gonna keep this to the outside a little bit, just kind of swirl it up into the shape that I'm looking for. Wow, that blended out pretty quickly. More. Now on a regular day-to-day basis, I probably don't wear too many super bright bold colors. Sometimes I'll do a pop of one, like an accent of one, just for something fun if I'm gonna be, you know, going out and hanging out with friends or whatever. I tend to do the majority of my bold eyeshadow looks when I'm on date night with my husband. That gives me the chance to be a little bit more creative. So I'm going into the corresponding color on the CColor cosmetic side. This one's called Cruise. Did I tell you which one it was on the, so on the ABH side it's called Palm, and on the CColor cosmetic side it's called Cruise. There's usually some conversation on do dupes take it too far, and I think as long as it's I think my moral compass has dropped a little bit. If it's a fake, if it's trying to be the original and it has everything exactly the same shade name, at the same packaging and the same logo and the same font and all that, and it really does confuse you into thinking that it's the same product, then I'm going to say I draw the line at that. If it's something that is inspired by with again their attempt at the same shades, but they don't call it the same and it doesn't purport to be the same thing. In fact, they usually don't even say that this is what they're inspired by. I don't have a problem with that. I think if you know that you're in love with the color story and you think it's going to work with you and the price point is a little bit easier to swallow than some of the original authentic ones, then I am not going to say don't do that. I'm going to say do what you need to do to keep yourself fiscally responsible. And I'm just doing a little bit of blending on that. Okay, both of those shades I think are actually very pretty, and they're kind of fun to do sort of this bright colorful look. I'm going to take this sort of apricot-y color, this is the lightest shade that I started with. This is one a couple doors down on the ABH side, and I'm just going to use that out here just to soften that outer corner a little bit. Maybe I'll even take the dregs over it a little bit. Yeah, that's okay. And then I'm going to go, so that one was called Coastline on the ABH side, and then it's called Island on the CColor cosmetic side. So we're just softening that outside a little bit. Okay, you know what? Overall colors, they're not horribly different, especially as I start building up the other shades around it. I feel like they're kind of performing pretty similarly. Can you guys see a huge difference? Maybe my untrained eye just isn't picking it up. Yeah, I'm not seeing a huge major difference between the two of them. Okay, I want to try one of these shimmers here. Well, I think we need to do Palmero. That's this one right here. It's kind of a shimmery raspberry shade on the ABH side. So I'm taking that into the inner, maybe third of the eye with a flat brush. Okay. And we're cleaning it off. We're going to switch over here to Vacation on the CColor cosmetic side. And these shimmers seem to be very similar in the fact that they're densely packed. I like me a shimmer that doesn't have a ton of kick up. Okay, I feel like those applied very similarly. I'm not seeing a huge difference between the two. Let me check for fallout really fast. Oh yeah, I've got quite a bit of fallout on both sides. Loose pressed pigments, man, they like to make a big ginormous mess here. I'm gonna have to do a little bit cleanup when we're done. And so far I feel like I've got a little bit of my contacts, but it's not horrible. You know what, because I want this a little bit cleaner, I'm gonna go into the white on here, which is like a matte white. I'm gonna put this right here in the center just to kind of clean up that from looking like I've got pink eye. And we're gonna grab the same color on the CColor Cosmetics side and put it right here. On the CColor Cosmetics side, it's called Bliss, and on the ABH side, it's called Sales. All right, not seeing a huge amount of difference between those two. What else do I wanna do? I kinda wanna, I mean, there's some gold shades, there's purple, there's like a turquoise blue. Let's try the turquoise blue, maybe underneath my lower lash line, just for something fun. There we go. Took me a little bit to find a brush that I had actually wanted here. So I'm trying to decide if I should use the purple or the turquoise. Let's do both. So I'm going to take the purple on the ABH side first out here. I probably could have done the concealer and cleaned up situation first. I'm going to take a little bit on the lash line too, just to give that a little bit more cohesion, tie it in. I almost feel like I didn't really even need it. Okay, that's pretty. Now I'm going to actually, you know, before I go into the teal, I'm going to switch, clean the brush off and go into, so that one was shade Cannes, you know what I'm talking about, like the Cannes Film Festival. That's on the ABH side. And this one, corresponding one on CColor, is called Lounge. We're gonna put that over here. I don't feel like I'm seeing a whole lot of different, like if I were to go walk around town, I don't think anybody is gonna say, oh, she's wearing two different brands. I don't think anybody's gonna say that. They're gonna say she's got hot pink eyeshadow on. So let's go into this teal shimmer, which is kind of the one that I was a little bit scared about getting into the texture in my eyes. This one's called Seychelles. Might make that brown eyes pop a little bit more. I almost feel like this is the shade I should have used all over my lids because that's really pretty. And now I'm gonna go in on the CColor Cosmetics side. We're gonna go into Jacuzzi. Jacuzzi over here. Oh my gosh, my dogs just heard something. Go check it out. That is the first color that I'm thinking is a little lighter. They didn't quite get that one just right. Let me show you. Let's see what it looks like on fingers. So swatching it, so this is the CColor Cosmetics one right here. Kind of a thin formula. And then this is the ABH one here. Little bit darker, little bit thicker, little bit richer. So there you go. That first brush that I used was this one. I'm gonna use this to kind of blend and clean up that ledge just a little bit. Clean it off. I'll go do the same thing over here. Let me throw some mascara on and we'll kind of see what the final result looks like. Okay, you guys, so that's it for comparing these two eyeshadows together. I think, you know, both brands gave me a very, very similar look. It's not something that I would normally gravitate towards. They're very pink, very pretty, very bold, and not like the soft pretty that you would normally think of with pink eyeshadows, especially for someone who's a lady of a certain age. But, and I got a little mascara on my eyelid. That's awesome. You know what? Here's the thing. These are fun, almost like artistry palettes. Again, they're a little bit older. I don't know if this is maybe passe because they've been around for a while and nobody's wearing these anymore, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little dupe, give you guys a layperson's opinion comparing the two. Do I like them? Yeah, you know, I can see a reason to reach for them. That being said, do I think that they came up with a similar look? I do. I do feel like my eyelids look very, very similar, and I don't think anybody's going to notice if I go out in public. They're going to be like, oh yeah, she's just wearing bright pink eyeshadow. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well, and I'll hope to see you in my next video. So until then, bye for now.